We've got 12 coral lipsticks to swatch today. The first one is NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee, probably one of the most famous drugstore lip glosses, and I love this shade from the line. It gives a very natural coral nude shade, so if you're just dabbing your feet into the world of coral shades, this is a great one to start, and it's also perfect for the warmer weather because it feels pretty lightweight, and even though it is a gloss, it's not super sticky. It has a little bit of tackiness, but very manageable, and it feels pretty moisturizing on the lips. For the transfer test, does transfer a little bit, and of course it wipes off a little bit of the initial shine, but like I said, the corally nude shade does stay on the lip and you can very easily reapply it throughout the day. A very similar product is from Evio or Evio Beauty. This is their hydrating lip gloss in the shade Susan, and it pretty much gives almost the exact same effect as the butter gloss. I will say that this one, like the name suggests, feels a little more hydrating. It feels a little lesser weight than the butter gloss, and as a result it also looks slightly less glossy. It almost feels like a lip oil type of texture, so it feels very smooth and comfortable on the lips. For the transfer test, transfers a little bit, really similar amount to the butter gloss, and this one is slightly more on the coral side. Another drugstore cult favorite is the Rimmel London Kate Moss collection in the shade 38. I remember hunting this down when I first saw Zoella wear this shade back from maybe 8 years ago. So yeah, I've had this lipstick for way too long now, but it still, you know, gives the consistency and the texture, and it doesn't smell weird, so I am keeping this because I have since then not been able to find this shade anywhere in the drugstore. And this is the perfect coral lipstick. It is more of your traditional lipstick consistency. It's moisturizing, it feels smooth, and the color payoff is just wonderful. It's basically the lipstick version of these lip glosses. For the transfer test, it does transfer a bit more than the lip glosses, but it still retains a lot of the corally shade. Oh, I love this color so much. I need to remember to use this more. Another classic lipstick line from MAC. This is the shade Sea Sheer. It is one of my favorite MAC formulas. Super smooth, feels actually really similar to the Rimmel London lipstick. It's more of a reddish coral shade, so it's got a bit more of a statementy effect. I got this as part of the MAC holiday lipstick set, so these are all in mini sizes. Talked about this before. It's the perfect way to try out lip shades because let's be honest, I've never used up a single lipstick. For the transfer test, does transfer a bit similar to the Rimmel one. It's almost got like a tiniest bit of purpley or pinky undertone to it. One of my favorite lipstick packaging is actually from Zara. It's got a lot of weight to it. It is a little bit irregular. It does stand on your vanity and just really minimal. These are also refillable. This I genuinely don't remember, and it doesn't say the name of the shade, but it is the more corally shade from the line. Feels like, again, your traditional lipstick. It's smooth, it's thin. Actually, I've realized all these lipsticks, the Rimmel one, the MAC one, and the Zara one, feel very similar on the lips. Just very comfortable. For the transfer test, as you can see, it transfers a little bit, but the shade still stays on the lip. The ColourPop Just a Tint is possibly one of my all-time favorite lipsticks ever. It genuinely glides on. It is so smooth and almost slippery, and it's got a little bit of lip oil effect too. Very moisturizing, and surprisingly the color staying power is really strong, like a proper lipstick. This is my favorite shade, Rise and Shine, and it smells like bubblegum, which is so nostalgic and also really brightens up my mood every time I apply the product. For the transfer test, transfers similar amount to the other lipsticks, and like I said, the color staying power is so strong that even if I don't take it out with me to retouch, I will still have the tint of the color at the end of day. Another ColourPop lipstick, kind of a tinted lip balm. This is their collaboration with Hello Kitty, and it's in the shade Tropic Cute. This is another quite bright colored coral shade. It truly feels like a lip balm, so I like to take these to my summer vacations because I can easily throw them in any handbag. They are affordable. I don't have to worry if I lose them. I mean, brings vacation vibes even. And I love the shade on the lips. It doesn't feel really thick, very hydrating. For the transfer test, does transfer quite a bit of color, but it is more of a tinted lip balm, so I don't mind reapplying it throughout the day. In the exact same line, I have another shade. This one is Fun in the Sun, and this is more of a corally nude, so more everyday friendly, more neutral. Exact same consistency, love it equally to this. So sometimes I just bring both of them to my vacation because this shade pairs more with neutral, like toned down outfits, and then the previous one pairs with like really bright colors very well. I'm starting to realize that all of my coral lipsticks pretty much look the same on my lips, but I just cannot help myself. When I see a beautiful coral shade, I feel like I have to have them in my collection. And who doesn't want more options? For the transfer test, even on the napkin, this one has more of a nudie undertone. A couple of Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I do have a dedicated video swatching all of my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. This one is my probably favorite shade from Charlotte Tilbury. This is Bitch Perfect. It is truly the perfect corally nudie shade for me that I can wear pretty much every day all year long, and I especially love wearing it in the summer month. It complements my skin so well. I don't have to think about the rest of the makeup. It really goes with any makeup, and it feels really moisturizing, smooth on the lips. The shade lasts a very long time. Love the packaging. Who doesn't love Charlotte Tilbury packaging? Even though I barely need to touch up throughout the day, I still put this in my bag. For the transfer test, as you can see, it's got definitely more of a nude undertone, and the shade will last you all day. This shade here, Sexy Sienna, is more of a matte formula, so perfect for spring, summer outings, parties, evening looks, and it has more of a statement-y effect. So kind of a corally pink, slightly neon, but not like aggressively neon type of shade. I really love this to serve as a statement lipstick without having to wear a bright red lipstick. I love this matte formula. It gives like a velvety finish, and it feels really nice and almost weightless on the lips. Transfer test doesn't transfer nearly as much as the other lipsticks because of the velvety matte formula. So with this, you actually don't really have to touch it up. It will stay on your lips all day. This is from a Chinese brand, Into You, and this is definitely more of a velvet lipstick in more of a nude shade with a coral tone to it. So if you want to wear kind of velvety lipsticks, which typically are more associated with winter looks, this is actually a really great shade to take it into the warmer months. I love the tiny little packaging. It almost gives a foggy effect, like it really helps blurs the line, and I really love that about this lipstick. So you could almost over apply it a little bit and give your lips more of a plumping effect, and this shade will not budge on your lips. For the transfer test, As you can see, it barely transfers. Giorgio Armani Lip Maestro in the shade 109. I have another dedicated video swatching all of the Lip Maestros that I own, and this is again one of my favorite shades from the line. It actually is really similar to the Into You. I feel like this one is kind of a dupe for the Giorgio Armani. However, on the lips, the Giorgio Armani feels a bit more silky smooth and a bit more hydrating. So if you do have dry lips, I would actually recommend the Giorgio Armani Lip Maestro. Worth the hype, worth the money. For the transfer test, transfers a little bit more than the Into You, but it also retains the shade very well on the lips. Let me know in the comments your favorite coral lipstick.